Hey everyone, this is Dahlia helping young professionals to land and to grow their international careers. And I'm hopping on because I'm seeing a lot of job hunters out there doing some kind of weird things when it comes to their job hunt and when it comes to landing the jobs that they want to land. And I just want to share those with you. Maybe you've seen people doing them as well. I think that the first thing that I'm seeing people doing is basically when they are, someone decides that they no longer like their current job, or all of a sudden they're unemployed, it's time to get a new position, they will jump onto the job boards and they start living on the job boards, they start sending out applications, and that's where I see people fall into these two camps. In the first camp, they're just mass sending out applications. They're going, I want a job. I want any job. Where will they take me? And they think that the more applications they send out, the more of a chance that someone will choose them. And they're just mass applying, basically. And I've spoken to people who have literally sent out 200 plus applications that they've spent a year, if not multiple years, like just applying, and surprise, surprise, they still don't have a job. And yet that they keep doing it because they think that the more they do it, maybe one day, 1 year, someone will choose them, right? And then I think there are other people I talk to who have sent out very, very few applications because they really want to only apply for the right jobs. But in either case, they're just relying on an application strategy. And so I've spoken to people who have only sent out a few applications over the last 4 months or over the last while. And they're going, well, it's because I'm very choosy about where I apply to, only the perfect job roles, right? And the thing is, they're sending these applications into very competitive positions. Maybe they're, quote unquote qualified, maybe they're not. Whatever the case, the chances of them landing one of those 4 applications they've sent are very, very slim. And it's just such a risky method of job hunting. It's like you're really not stacking the odds on your side. Yes, you're giving yourself a 0.1% chance that you'll get a job like that. But if you're serious about getting a position, then it's a very risky way to go about job hunting, right? And meanwhile, you're wasting all that time sending out applications instead of getting experience and instead of getting paid what you're worth, especially if you're currently unemployed and you're not actually earning anything. Like, you're missing out on a lot of money. So that's just one thing that I've found really strange that a lot of people are doing. I know why it happens, right? It's one of those things where it's weird, and when people realize what they're doing, they're going, oh, that's strange. Why am I doing that? But really it's because they don't know what else they can do instead, right? We all have been taught that when you need to find a job, you go onto the job boards and you see what's out there and you brush up your CV and you send out those applications, right? And that's everyone's kind of definition or image of what job hunting looks like. And I think that's why it's resulting in so many people just doing things that do not work and relying on job applications, even though we all know that the odds are so slim that you're actually going to get a good job from that, right? And you'll get a job maybe, but it certainly will take you a long, long time, and it probably won't be the job that you really, really want, because the best jobs are most likely not even going to be on those applications. And the ones that are so competitive. So the second thing that I'm seeing people doing, and this is a big one, let me know if you've ever done this before, is doing things for the CV. So this is where I hear people saying things like, well, I'm in a toxic work environment, or I'm no longer growing, this is no longer a job that I'm enjoying, but I want to stay so I have 2 years experience in the position. Because, and they say things like, well, if I leave, I'm going to look flaky, or I want to show that I'm loyal to the company, or I have a project I need to complete. I need to have this on my CV. Or they'll go for something, they'll get a degree because they want to have the degree on their CV, and just this kind of thing. And the thing about the CV is that a lot of the times, employers don't even see this piece of paper, and people are literally spending years of their lives trying to get a line on their CV when in a lot of cases, no one is even going to see your CV in the first place. So imagine spending a year of your life, or if not multiple years, for this piece of paper, for a line on your CV it doesn't really matter. Hey, Katie, good morning to you. Nice to see you here. We're just talking about weird things I'm seeing job hunters doing. So let me know if you have any questions, or if you want to comment if you've seen anything weird that you've seen job hunters doing that is not serving them. So right now we're just talking about building up your CV, doing things for this CV, for this piece of paper that is supposedly going to help you to get a job, which we all know in most cases doesn't help you get anywhere. So yeah, I've seen people literally going back to school, spending $100,000, 2 years or more of their lives to get a line that says they have a master's on their CV. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, right? But it depends on the outcome. It depends on what do you want. And in a lot of cases, that line on your CV doesn't actually help, because I talk to so many people who have gone back, gotten a lot of extra education, spent those extra years, spent all that extra money, and then they get back with their, new and upgraded CVs that now says masters on it, and they still can't get a job. Only now they have all this extra debt to pay off as well. And in some cases, they're even complaining that now they're told they're overqualified. And anyway, it can just become a mess really, really quickly when you don't have that clarity of direction and you don't really know for sure that having that line on your CV is going to help you. In some cases, it will, right? If you're becoming a doctor, if you need something that really requires an accreditation, otherwise you cannot practice, then yes, of course, you're going to go and need to have that line on your CV. You're going to need proof that you are accredited and that you are allowed to practice. But in most cases, people are going out, getting stuff to fill their CV, and they're literally wasting their lives in doing so. And I even talked to someone recently who had a difficult relationship with their boss, and they were in a toxic work environment, being undervalued, all this kind of stuff. So of course she wanted out of there, and yet she decided she needed to stay for another 6 months, for this this kind of myth of needing to stay in a place for a year or 2 years. I don't know what the number is these days that people are throwing out there, that you have to stay somewhere 1 year, 2 years to show that you stay in one place or something like that. I don't know. Tell me, what is the myth that everyone is saying, that you need to stay in an organization for 1 year or 2 years or something like that? Anyway, so she was in an environment that was not serving her, and yet she wanted to stay there so that she could show her boss, show her boss who's boss, show her boss that she was capable of achieving something. And it's a sad thing, because you don't want to be giving up your life for a job that's not getting you anywhere and that is not serving you. And if it's not serving you, that means you're not serving them either, right? I mean, employers don't want people who are not happy and who are not really passionate about the work that they're doing. Like, you're better off getting out of there, doing a nice handover, getting someone else in who will be happy. And this myth about having to stay in a place for a certain amount of time, I'm not sure where it came from. I mean, that can be a good thing if you're really happy in your position and you're growing and you have this amazing project you're working on, then yeah, finish the project. But if you feel like you've outgrown the position, things are starting to repeat themselves, you're not going anywhere, get someone else in who will be excited about that job so you can go and spend your life doing something that really matters. And then, okay, so I think I've rambled on enough about that. So the third thing that I see people doing, which is kind of weird, is when they realize that the applications don't work, when they realize that, okay, I shouldn't just be sending applications, I should be networking, right? So they get themselves all ramped up, they decide to go out there and network, and they start sending out all of these messages to people. I receive them all the time. I get them now that I'm doing this career coaching, people saying, here's all my skills and expertise, and they're kind of selling themselves to me. But I also got it even before I started helping people with their careers. Like, just from working in the UN, people would write to me all the time and say, oh, I would really like to get into the UN. How can I do so? And, kind of selling themselves. And it doesn't work, you guys. I mean, people in these positions, they get those messages all the time and they're kind of sick of them, right? Like, a lot of people in the roles that everyone else wants, they're kind of tired of hearing from everyone and having everyone ask them, oh, how can I do that too? And sometimes it'll just get you blacklisted. Like, I know people who everyone is just tired of hearing from them and they're just getting blacklisted, and they're putting all of this effort into sending out, I talked to someone else who had sent out hundreds of messages on LinkedIn and emails and connected with all of these people and still was not getting anywhere. So when that happens, you have to ask yourself, okay, maybe I'm just bothering people here and not really building authentic connections that are going to help me out. Clearly, these people do not want to help me. So something is wrong. Either they're the wrong people, or you're reaching out in the wrong way, or you're not coming across as a specialist to them. You're just coming across as another desperate job hunter, but something is wrong. So that is another weird thing that I see people doing in terms of just the mass networking. Hey, Ashley, nice to see you here. We're just wrapping up, but let me know if you have any questions or if you have any ideas, if you've ever spotted anything weird that you see job hunters doing. So yeah, so those are the three biggest things I've been thinking about lately. There are definitely some more. And, you know, it's one of those things now I'm telling them to you. And I think when everyone realizes that they're doing these things and they realize that, yeah, it's true, it's not really going anywhere. Why am I doing this? It's like we all kind of laugh about it and we go, it's pretty ridiculous. Like all of this effort, all the stuff we're doing that's not really working. And then it's like, it's ridiculous, but it's also kind of tragic because we can literally waste our lives just sending out applications, hanging out in jobs that no longer serve us, working for people who are not our tribe, who we don't resonate with, working on projects, you know, putting our time and our energy into things that we're not passionate about and we don't feel like they're really making the world a better place, where we feel like we're replaceable. And that really is a tragedy, you know? And this is where it's so, so important to get that clarity about what do you actually want to do and how do you achieve that? Not just, you know, you need to get out of this job hunter mentality. And I think, oh, Katie has a comment. I've gotten messages and sent my resume. There wasn't a follow-up. I was playing phone tag and nothing happened. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that happens a lot, right? You'll reach out to people. Sometimes you have some back and forth, and then it's like you're off the map and they forget about you once they do hire someone. So I don't know the details of that situation, but that is something that definitely comes up a lot, right? Like a lot of effort, a lot of outreach, a lot of sending your CVs and all this kind of thing. Something that I was interested in. What should I do? I think I would have to know a little bit more specifics about the situation to know that, Katie. We also need to know, you know, the job I'm interested in. Well, what do you mean by interested, right? Like, is this your dream job? Is this going to be your purpose? Is this, because a lot of people I'm noticing, this ties into a bigger problem, right? Where when someone starts job hunting, they will go onto the online job applications and go, what am I interested in? And at first, maybe they're interested in fewer things because they want to be picky and they want to get their dream job. And they go, okay, I think, you know, no, that's not for me, that's not for me, that's, oh, here's one I might be interested in. And then as time goes on, as they realize, oh, wow, this is going to be harder than I thought, then people start getting more desperate and they start sending out more and more applications. And they realize, oh, no, nobody's hiring me. And then you stop focusing on your plan A, and all of a sudden you're going for your plan B or C or D, or you're just trying to fit yourself into these boxes. And so that's why the whole job application process is kind of, it's the way we think about the job hunt is wrong. The whole concept of go to the online job boards, find the boxes, try to fit yourself into a box, play this phone tag to see if they will hire you, keep trying to sell yourself, wondering, do they hate me? Do they forget about me? What's going on? Like this whole kind of thing is really not the way you want things to play out, because that is you as a job hunter, as a job seeker, whereas you want to be seen as a specialist, right? You want to be someone who knows where you're going, knows your direction, knows what you have to bring to the table, you know what the direction is where you want to be growing, and you're not just trying to fit yourself into a box and prove that you are the one they should choose to fit into that box, if that makes sense. So it's a bit of a difference, but this is the whole problem with the entire job hunting world. And I think what's happened is that most people haven't realized that this is how things work, and most people are still just doing, I mean, this is what we're told to do, right? Go and apply. Okay, Katie, I hope that was helpful. I would need more details to give you more, more concrete feedback, but yeah. this is the whole thing. You want to get really clear, like I keep saying, on your plan A. What is your mission in the world? What is it that you're achieving? And then we want to be working on getting you an entire system set up so that you understand how to get those roles, the right roles for you, not just the ones that, I think I'm interested in this, I think I'm interested in that, because they will see that you seem just kind of interested or whatever, and you're not going to come across as the person, the one for that position. So if you guys have more questions after this, just let me know if you're watching the replay, and then I'll try to answer them. And nice seeing everyone here. I know a lot of you guys are in major job hunting mode now that we're halfway through the month of January already. So if you guys want to get yourselves out of job hunting mode, if you're ready for help to actually become a specialized professional as opposed to a job hunter, then reach out to me. We can book a call together. We're doing some career roadmap sessions this week. The link for that is accelerate-yourambitions.com/apply. That is going to take you to my and my team's calendar. Then you can just pick a slot that works best for you. After that, you're going to have a short questionnaire to fill out to make sure that you're the right candidate for the program. And then after that, we're going to be getting on a call at the time that you choose, and we're going to look at specifically, because this is where I was telling Katie, we need to know more details to give you specific advice. So we're going to look specifically at where do you want to go, how do you see your vision as a professional, and we're going to get clarity around what are the things that are stopping you from getting there. So no matter how many applications you've been sending out, maybe you've realized you've been doing some of these things I've just told you you should probably stop doing. That's okay. I've noticed a lot of people doing them. That's why I'm talking about them. So we're going to get clear on what those things actually are, what's stopping you, what's working for you. Maybe there's some things that are working well that you should keep doing. And then what are the things that you should stop doing? And what are the things you need to adjust so that you can actually get yourselves into those specialist positions, international positions, if that's what you guys want. But the main thing here is that you're building your own career freedom. And career freedom does not mean fitting yourself into an online job application box. Career freedom means that you have your own vision of what it is that you're doing in the world, and then you're building your own system so that you can get those opportunities, which sometimes might be posted on job boards, and sometimes that they might not. But the point is, you're not starting with the job boards. You're starting from you, and you as a specialist, not as a job hunter. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Looking forward to seeing some of you on the roadmap sessions. And let me know if you have other questions here in the comments, and I'll try to answer them. Bye, everyone.